back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
This is actually very interesting, so let's talk about it. The UFC is implementing brand new fight gloves for UFC 219. Now, when I first thought this, I thought that, everybody always complains about the fight gloves, how they kind of make your fingers point up. So you always see the referees, hey, watch your hands, watch your fingers when you're extending your hands, when they're just trying to maybe parry a punch. They get warned for fucking eye pokes, or when they're trying to maybe throw a jab and it's a little lazy, their fingers will be extended, but it's because of the design of the gloves, a lot of people say. Now, I did see Paul Felder had something very interesting he does to kind of combat that problem, where he just wraps his gloves up real tight together, closed fist style, before he fights, just fucking wrapped like that, which I thought was dope. But I mean, it's just the design of the gloves, because as of right now, they're grappler friendly gloves, as of what I've read. So that's why your fingers extend out with the style of gloves there is right now. So when I saw originally that they were changing the glove style, I thought that they were going to be fixing it to kind of combat or alleviate that problem of the fighters' fingers being extended when they throw a lazy jab or just kind of parry a punch. You always see the fighters' fingers sticking straight up, and when the problem is, whenever a fighter comes in, or whenever that gets near the opposite fighter's face, there's a lot of eye pokes. And so fighters say, well, yeah, it's because the design of the gloves, they kind of just fucking stick your fingers out like that. So I thought they were fixing that problem. Turns out that's not the case. The Nevada State Athletic Commission has approved of these new gloves, but these are just technology ass inspired gloves. Same style of gloves as far as everything I've read. It's just going to be able to time the strength of your punch, and I guess every fighter at UFC 219 is going to be wearing these. It's only gloves for now. I mean, it doesn't really help for kicks, but it's very interesting, man. We're going to get a lot of interesting information from these. Imagine putting these things on Francis Ngannou, man, versus Stipe Miocic. That's what I want to happen. I hope they're fighting in Vegas. Well, actually, they're fighting in Boston, but still, these gloves, it's got nothing to do with the design. It's just technology inspired. I'll read what, speaking to MMA Junkie, the HEED co-founder, Matty Kochavi, had the following to say about the new gloves. They cover their passion, the power of the fight, the resiliency, the strategy. All of those things happen in the octagon. Shouldn't we tell a story of the sport that way? Shouldn't the sport be told in real time, with real data, with real information, with real insights, with real emotions? We are a company that is trying to revolutionize the way we're going to broadcast sports and live events. Now, the UFC has already been low-key trying to revolutionize broadcasting events. There's a couple things they've been working on. I don't know if it's official or unofficial, but we've seen Joe Rogan's Fight Companion, which we brought up or thought of, the idea of, what if instead of listening to the commentators, let's say Joe Rogan retired, instead of listening to the actual commentators, what if you could switch over to the Fight Companion actually on the UFC event? And whenever I was watching the Snoopcast on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series on Fight Pass, you could pick your camera angle you wanted to watch the fight from. You could pick your commentary. Do you want to listen to the Snoopcast? Do you want to listen to regular? And that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe they could do that officially for a real UFC, not just the Contender Series, but with the Joe Rogan Fight Companion. Not just the Snoopcast. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do to revolutionize broadcasting, and it's looking like dope ass new technology AI gloves are coming. All I know is, hey, it is what it is. We'll see. I don't think they're going to be adding anything to the broadcast yet. They're probably going to have to test these things out a little bit before we actually see the story being told on our screen. Oh, yo, that punch that was the hardest punch he's thrown that fight. Imagine that. Oh, that motherfucker was coming with intention. We know that had some heat on it. Look, he threw that. That's the hardest punch he's threw this fight. Oh, that would have been a powerful uppercut. Look how powerful just his jabs are. That's all type of stuff. Imagine to come. That's just going to be insane. I don't know how they're ever going to do it for kicks. With gloves, it'll work. With that being said, this is very interesting. I still would like to see something done about the fighters' fingers always being extended out. That's what I thought this was. I'm interested to see what a lot of the fighters have to say about these gloves. Do they care? They probably won't care, because as far as the design, they're not changing the design, but you gotta think it's pretty cool to be able to know your strongest punch of the fight. That's gonna help fighters. Like, yo, I threw, man, that's just so fucking dope to me. So I'm looking forward to seeing these things. Right now it's only in Nevada, only in Vegas, so I can't wait to see fucking Francis get back in Vegas. We know that's pretty much his hometown now, the UFC's Performance Institute. He's probably already threw a couple punches with these things on. But with that being said, man, this kind of got me excited, yo. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you talking about in the comments. I'm over here thinking about like some futuristic AI movie fight UFC shit. Yo, I'm pumped. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.